Hey, welcome back. Like to thank our new sponsor, the hand lotion cream.
Yes, very dry.
Exactly.
You wouldn't be able to hear this
if I had
used
Nugenix hand cream. She'll like it too. I don't know if that's a product they have or not, but I think they should diversify their product line. It is the Mike and Molson Too Good for Radio podcast. I'm Mike.
I noticed on WMAY.com we're the Too Hot for Radio podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't.
So even the people at the radio station don't know
the name of
the thing that's on the thing.
They just know it's either too hot or too good for the radio.
So it's the Too Good for Radio podcast. Maybe they'll catch up. I don't know.
Well, maybe they don't think it's good. Maybe they're just like, it's just too hot for radio. Yeah, we can't put it on. It's just too hot because they talk about things like, weird dreams and whatnot. So
subscribe wherever you get podcasts.
Yes, and we appreciate it.
If you go over to the website, you won't be able to find it because it's a different name.
It's a different name. Too hot, too good. I don't know. Just listen. We appreciate it. So last week, if you'll recall, Johnny, I shared with you the vivid dream I had of Garrett, the kind of parrot, and how Garrett, who used sign language, died in that particular dream. It just so happens I have another story here about the death of parrots.
Do tell.
This one has silly names and a ridiculous way in which they died. This happened.
I am all over this.
Yeah, this happened over in Europe here. A balloonist who gave 3 valuable parrots a lethal heart attack by flying over their cages has been told by the court in Den Bosch to pay the owner $55,000 in compensation.
He flew over their cages?
So here we go. The birds literally died of fright when the hot air balloon, which was taking part in a competition in March of 2017, sailed by just 50 meters from their aviary and fired up the balloon's main burner.
Gas. Yeah. Have you ever been under one when that happens? It's crazy. Because you don't know that it's up there.
Right.
I mean, they're silent.
The noise of the blast caused the animals worth tens of thousands of euros.
Yeah, this guy's guilty.
So much stress that they expired.
Wow. So, all 3 of them.
So these 3 parrots are in their own aviary, minding their own damn business. This guy is in, I don't know, some around the world in 80 days contest, flies over, parrots,
I'd like to think that one parrot died, it freaked out the next parrot, which freaked out the third parrot. I'd like to think that's what happened, because I can't imagine they all 3 were startled to such a degree that they had a heart attack.
The quote here is, parrots can die of acute heart failure, and not because of any unexpected noise. This must have been some bang.
Yeah.
Zoo owner and parrot expert Richard Lumens told The Telegraph. The balloon company from Schnindel admitted the balloon had flown below the 300-meter limit designated for the zone, but contested that the parrots had died of stress caused by the balloonist's actions based on Vert's testimony. Alternative causes brought forward for the demise of the parrots were dismissed by the judge. The owner's claim was for 113,000 euros to compensate for the loss of a yellow-napped Amazon worth $1,250 and a $40,000 pair of Hyacinth macaws and any offspring they may have produced. So the cause of the macaw's death was the balloon. All 3 heart attack, dead, and now $55,000 owed to the parrot owner because of future revenue he could have got from their offspring.
How much is too much to spend to buy a pet? I don't think you should be allowed to own something that costs that much.
You shouldn't pay 20,000 euros for a macaw.
No.
40,000 euros for a pair of macaws is about, I would say, 39,000 too much. $500 a piece.
Man. I mean, if they're that amazing and incredible, they shouldn't be in someone's house in a cage.
Correct. If they're that expensive, why are they at an aviary where balloonists could just randomly fly over and kill them with heart attack?
They need to be out in a jungle eating Toucan Sam cereal or whatever.
Follow my nose. It always knows. Because, yeah, you're right. Because there's the rash of French bulldog burglaries, right? Because those are going for like $20,000.
Yeah.
That stops being a pet at that point.
I think so,
it's some type of investment.
It's like a rare piece of art.
Like you come over and people, please put your gloves on before touching my French bulldog.
Yeah, but really it's an animal and it's going to crap on your carpet.
Correct. Yeah.
Just like any other word.
And these parrots are going to dump wherever they want to dump. Did they evacuate before the end?
I don't know.
Or did they all talk and be like, crap, crap?
Once you get around like $78 or something, that's a high price for.
I'm with you.
To own an animal.
If it's not $50 from the animal shelter, I don't know if I want it. I don't need a bunch of papers. I just want a pet.
Or like when the governor buys a really expensive cow every year at the fair.
Oh yeah, what's he doing?
He never actually takes ownership of the cow. It's some stupid, I don't know, fundraiser or something for some cow charity out there.
I mean, at least with the cow, you know it's going to turn into a nice steak.
I guess so.
So yeah. So if you have yourself a parrot, make sure you never take them to a balloon launch because they'll die instantly of a heart attack. And, over the years, Johnny, we've liked to expand people's vocabulary.
Yeah.
And you found an interesting thing from, is it Merriam-Webster dictionary? Because there's different ones now. I never know. There's like the online one and there's the Oxford English.
No, that's the official one. They own all the words.
Okay.
So this is a collection of words that you can use for that certain person. A collection of specific behaviors and those who embody them. Okay. And some of these words we know, like if someone is a bombastor.
That's a loud SOB.
Yeah, they're pretentious and they're talking, they talk and they talk and they talk and they talk. I think we know what a delusionist is or a fun maker.
Yeah. That seems about right. Although I never heard anyone called a fun maker. Man, you are a one fun maker.
But you might run into somebody who is a misologist.
Misologist? That sounds bad. It's very close to misogynist. I don't know if I want to be a misologist.
No, you might. No, I think you are actually a misologist.
Oh, great. Okay,
I think you might actually be the misologist poster child.
Oh boy. Okay, what is a misologist?
A hatred of argument.
Yeah, I am. I am a very much. So anyone who says to each their own is a misologist.
Yeah, and it goes on. It says a hatred of argument, reasoning, or enlightenment, which I think is there's a lot of confliction.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I'm all about reasoning and enlightenment. I just don't like to argue with people.
Yeah,
it's about certain things.
Everyone has to hate something. The misanthrope hates humankind. The misogynist hates marriage, and the misologist hates argument, reasoning, or enlightenment.
So there's a mixologist, a misogynist, and a misologist. They all walk into a bar, and the misologist says, "To each his own."
I didn't know that this was a legit word.
Okay,
but you can actually be a Budinsky.
Really? I mean, my dad would always say that back.
Stop being such a Budinsky.
I thought it was like the one you may vote for.
Yeah. First time I saw her sign, it's like, really? That's her name, Budinsky?
Hey, Budinsky. Yeah. You know what? That's who you want in government. Hey, by the way, point of parliamentary.
No, I'm sorry. The Budinsky from Illinois does not have the floor.
What? Pardon me, please. It's my name. I can't help it.
No, stop being. The Budinsky is not allowed to speak at this. Your time has expired, Miss Budinsky.
I think we all know what a Budinsky is, right?
Yes.
Maybe you're senator, running for Congress, but it's also someone who cuts people off,
someone
right?
who bumps in, and we cannot say he was the first to add the common element of some Slavic surnames, but the term "butt in." But we can tell you that the word has been in common use since the beginning of the 20th century. I thought it was one of those things like you like when we started, we were like during the Cold War, everything like was a Ruski or
a Budinsky
or no good Nick or do you know somebody who is a persifluer?
Persifluer? Boy, is that someone who coughs in your face, spreading the flu? Persifluer?
This building, I think, at times is filled with persifluers.
Oh, so people who think very highly of themselves?
No. People who are given to frivolous banter and light conversation.
I'm also a persifluer, aren't I?
No, I don't think you are. No, you're not a persifluer.
I mean, I like to talk to people, but I don't do it just because, I guess.
It's not, you don't engage in light bantering.
No. It's got to be substantive.
I can probably occasionally
You would hate a persifluer.
I do hate persifluers.
Yeah.
I could occasionally, though, be a logamachist.
Okay.
A logamachist.
Logamachist.
And that would be someone who is given to arguing about words. Kind of like what we're doing at this very moment.
Exactly what we're doing.
If you're a larkamist, you are given to weeping.
A larkamist?
Yeah.
Hey, look at him over there. Look at Bruce over there. What a larkamist. Yeah. Everything always to tears with that guy.
I want to take her to that Marley and Me movie. She's a real larkamist, and she is going to fall apart.
I'm gonna use that at some point and be like, oh, God darn Larkamus, always crying at things. Thanks, Sarah McLachlan, in that commercial.
What about a platitudinarian?
Platitudinarian?
You could be a platitudinarian.
That seems like something would be from, that seems like something with Schoolhouse Rocks.
Yeah.
A platitudinarian is the
It's closely related to phrase maker, but is perhaps more prone to cliches.
Most football coaches are platitudinarians.
Yes,
they just speak in those, like, got to play hard, wasn't able to finish the drive, just got to give 110%.
It's like, we played our best, but they played better today.
Yeah, exactly.
All we can do is take it one game at a time.
Yes, exactly. Platitudinarian. That's a lot of coaches.
Yes. So that's your list of, if you need to call somebody something, words for that certain person.
See, you learned something with this podcast, including what each state's favorite swear word is.
You don't learn shit here.
Well, 15 states think that's the best one.
Oh, is that right?
There's different ways to go about this. We could, pretend we're still on the radio, but we're too hot for it. So I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say the words. So this is how they put together this survey. To find out which swear words are most popular across the country, they analyzed tweets from all 50 U.S. states and 320 cities.
Okay.
They collected data on a variety of the most commonly used profanities and variations of those words and matched them up with the tweet's location to see which places have the coarsest language.
Interesting.
So here are
an interesting sample of just Twitterers.
Yes. So here were their key findings. Okay. Obviously, fuck is America's most commonly used swear word with 11.62 uses for every 1,000 posts on Twitter.
No kidding. Wow.
That's a pretty sizable for dropping the F-bombs.
It is, but again, it's remember the environment you're in there on Twitter.
That's Twitter.
You're already mad.
Yeah, you're already effed if you're on Twitter,
exactly.
For the most part.
But that seems to be the one that pops up the most. Okay.
Yeah, with 48 curse words per 1,000 tweets, residents of Georgia use the most profanities of any U.S. state. 48 out of 1,000 tweets.
Wow, so no Southern charm there.
No, but swearing the least, Minnesotan nice.
Oh, yeah.
At only 15 per 1,000 tweets.
That checks out.
Minnesotan. Atlanta, 56 curse words per 1,000 posts, is America's sweariest city.
So that's where it gets really concentrated. So it's a lot in Georgia.
Yeah,
but then
a lot
you
of
get closer
Georgia.
to Atlanta, it's really just they're turning the sky blue.
And, of course, Minneapolis would be swearing the least.
Okay.
The other one is 15 states use shit more than any other swear word. It is the most uniquely popular profanity is shit.
Uniquely popular.
Yes.
Okay.
So on the breakdown for the rest of these, it's a lot of the F-bomb, a lot of shit, and it's interesting. It's done by geography, a lot of it. There's a couple of outliers, though, okay? For Illinois and Indiana, it's not the F-bomb, it's motherfucker.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if there was going to be variations.
Yeah, there's variations. Bitch is South Carolina and North Carolina's favorite. Mm-hmm. They use bitch a lot. Also, Kentucky uses bitch more than any other one. Hell is kind of interesting in that it's the Dakotas that and Nebraska make up hell as their favorite. Also, in Minnesota, you get a little bit of hell going on there. The biggest outliers to me, because there's like damn is Arizona and Nevada, and really, some of these ones, I think if you're going to swear, you should go for the big one, right? The gusto.
Yeah, I guess so. But then that's only a handful of words now.
Yeah, the F-bomb for me can be used in such a variety of different ways. Mm. It can be a verb, it can be adjective, whatever. Here are the two biggest outliers to me. Now, this is swear words, all right? In Iowa, their most popular swear. Now, granted, I guess it's just Twitter followers, so I guess this kind of plays out correctly. But their biggest swear word, their favorite in Iowa, is pussy.
Oh, interesting.
That's used the most.
Yeah.
Out of all the words we just described, hell, damn, shit, F-bomb, everything else, pussy.
Well, good for them for owning something.
Yeah, for Iowa. I guess it makes sense because it's Twitter followers. The other one is Idaho. And Idaho, their swear word. Now, to me, this isn't a swear word. But their favorite swear word, according to this study that they did with the tweets and everything else, is crap.
Crap.
Out of all the words you can use, the one that shows up the most in Idaho is crap.
Okay, so that's interesting to me because now I start to wonder then, is Minnesota really – because, yeah, you're right. Crap, hell, damn. You choose when to and when not to say that. Certainly, it would be on a list of words.
Yeah,
but not a jolting word.
No, none of those are. But because for Minnesota was hell.
Oh, Minnesota was also hell.
Yeah,
okay.
so like hell,
hell and crap.
Hell, crap,
and hell.
damn, I think are okay.
Damn, crap, and hell.
Damn, crap, and hell. But you get the F-bomb and you get the shit, but then all of a sudden the outliner of just pussy out of nowhere from Iowa. Just like I'm looking, I'm like, okay,
that's of all of them. That's an interesting one. Yeah, that's an interesting one too.
Yeah,
because again, that one's really gotta you gotta really be cranked up for that one to come flying out. I mean, you've really got to be mad at somebody.
The only one worse, I think we all know, is a variant of that one, and I think even that one to me, right. As much as I swear, I don't swear a ton in my day to day, but sometimes I find myself swearing more than I probably should. But that word, the variant of that word...
Yeah, I don't use either of those vaginal words, to be honest with you.
I don't use vaginal variations, but if you do, Nugenics, she'll like it too.
That's interesting. It's interesting how often British people use that one, the C word.
Yes.
And for some reason, it works. Like when Ricky Gervais does it. It's just I don't know why. That's something Ricky Gervais says.
I will say this too: watching Train Spotting with all just the drug use everywhere in Train Spotting and all the ridiculousness. The thing that threw me off the most was the Begbie using "you hard C word."
Yeah.
And I go, what?
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that didn't show up anywhere. Thank goodness.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
And none of the penile words show up either.
No. But is that like? I feel like that falls into crap and everything else. Like you dick, like hell, damn, crap, dick. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think dick's on a different level than crap.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to screw. If I stub my toe, I'm not going to say, dick. Yeah. I'm going to say, crap. If I stub my toe.
But I mean, I think it has a little more energy behind it than hell and damn.
Yeah, I think you got to be cranked up to call someone another word for crank for dick. So there you go. Those are the swear words in Iowa. You're weird with your pussy, but whatever. Yeah. To each his own. Because I'm a misogynist or whatever the hell it is.
Clearly you are.
Clearly I am. You found a interesting list. We love lists here with the Mike and Molson Too Good for Radio podcast, and you found an interesting one.
So you see something that has the headline of the 12 undisputed best comedy movies of all time. You sit there and go, man, are you? Wow,
you're setting yourself up for a lot. Yeah, undisputed.
And this person acknowledges that. However, this isn't a bad list.
Ooh.
There are certainly ones. I mean, there's certainly movies missing from here, but
the fact you say it's not bad when it said it's undisputed.
You could probably pretty easily grab any one of these and enjoy yourself.
Okay.
I think that, and they're not in any particular order. No, they're not in any particular order.
Okay, but I understand that. Just the 12 best. The 12 undisputed best comedies of all time. Is that what they say? Okay.
Yeah.
Lay them on me.
Again, always seems like it's a lot. But they go way back to the classics and start off with the Marx Brothers, A Night at the Opera.
Don't think you can complain with that. I mean,
absolutely,
that's quintessential.
One of their best ones, and
kudos to whoever's putting together this list to include that. I think sometimes you don't realize the comic genius. Of the Marx Brothers, and even of the Three Stooges from back in the day. It's just the dynamics of those. Like you turn those on, and you see black and white, and a lot of people just go, eh. But there is so much great timing in those.
It's smart. It's funny. It's really good. Next up comes the Blues Brothers.
Can't complain. Love.
Hard to deny the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, hard to deny that one. That was one of my dad's favorite movies. Absolutely. When you try to show that to someone, though, let me ask you this about the Blues Brothers. If you're showing it to someone who did not grow up or has no point of reference of Chicago, is it more difficult for them to enjoy it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, it certainly has extra charm if you're from Chicago, without a doubt. Because you know all those people. But I think it works. I think it works in, Tucson.
Okay. Yeah, because when I showed it to my wife who, didn't visit Chicago before we got together and everything else, it was hard for her to really enjoy it as much.
Interesting.
As my family did, because obviously growing up in the burbs.
You might bristle at this one, and it made me kind of cock my head a little bit, but I can't deny it's a good When Harry Met Sally.
Quintessential rom-com, probably, right?
Yeah, if you're going to put a rom-com in there, that's probably the one to do. And it is a funny movie. Rob Reiner, I mean, Billy Crystal, it's hard to go.
And it has the iconic scene, right, of the I'll have what she's having,
It's
right?
got a lot of funny stuff in there, yeah.
So I wouldn't put it on my undisputed of all time, but I get why it's in there.
But you could pull it off the shelf, watch it, and enjoy the movie.
True.
Probably. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, yeah. That one is a classic for a reason.
And I'll say that this list comes from a website called The Manual, which is a men's style kind of a website. So it might lean. It's going to lean a little more into the silly.
because the Holy Grail is a kind of a niche film, but I still feel it works.
Yeah, Python, Stooges. I mean, that stuff like that is going to lean a little.
All right.
male.
So far, nothing on this top 12 list that I would say bad choice, doesn't deserve to be on there.
Tommy Boy.
It's Farley. It's fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Farley, Spade. Peter
New
Segal
York
writes
Yankees.
it. I mean, it's great. Another one kind of in that same genre and almost the same movie, just with different people in it, is Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. See, Dumb and Dumber to me, I'm not a Jim Carrey guy, so it doesn't strike a chord with me that it would be in my top 12. But once again, I'm not going to dispute it being in there. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, that doesn't deserve to be in the top 12 comedies of all time. I still haven't heard the whole list.
Right.
There's some in my back of my head that are not there yet, but continue.
Another one that goes back to the classics and one, again, that people might turn their nose up at because it's old and it's black and white and it's old actors, but often tops lists of best comedies is the Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, and Marilyn Monroe in Some Like It Hot.
Yeah, just the whole premise of that one is fantastic.
And truly a funny movie. Really just a lot of just great moments in there. 1980s Caddyshack shows up on this one.
That is one of the all-time classics for me. Is Rodney Dangerfield is so good. There's so many like underrated performances in Caddyshack of like
Ted Knight and Chevy Chase,
exactly,
and of course Bill Murray, and Chevy Chase in such an interesting role for him because he plays it so straight.
Yes,
he just plays it right down the middle.
Exactly.
And just has this kind of cool cucumber, but that's why it works so well because
that's the beauty of that.
Foil to everything else.
Yeah.
Once again, going back to, I'm pretty sure an Academy Award winner, directed by Stanley Kubrick with Peter Sellers, George C. Scott, Dr. Strangelove.
See, never seen that one, but I know the historical kind of significance of it, so I'm not mad at it being on the list.
And again, that's one that you might not reach for because it's 1964, it's black and white, it's Stanley Kubrick, which is always weird.
Yeah.
But it is a funny movie.
Well, Peter Sellers was fantastic when it comes to comedy.
I am delighted that this one is on the list because it almost always gets overlooked. Carrie Fisher, Bruce Dern, Tom Hanks, Corey Feldman.
Oh,
The Burbs.
My wife loves that movie. I've never seen it. I have never seen The Burbs, but my wife absolutely loves that film.
And it always pops up on these lists of what the hell was Tom Hanks doing The Burbs? It was such a, but it is ridiculously funny. It is ridiculously funny.
Is the Money Pit on there?
No, the Money Pit's not on there, but another one with Chevy Chase, Vacation, the first Vacation.
Oh God,
movie.
yeah. When he punches the moose. John Candy underrated in that one too.
You're right. You're very right. Yeah, John Candy's fantastic in there. And it wraps up with probably the top of the list of cult classic comedy movies, The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, I mean that's an acquired taste one. I enjoy it. I know there's a lot of people who don't get that humor. It's very, dare I say, avant-garde.
Yeah, it's a Coen Brothers kind of a thing, so it's always a little weird. And it's one of those things where I think I enjoyed the movie before it became this thing to do.
Right. I would agree. So
I like the movie. I hate the movie's fans.
Correct.
That's how I feel about Jimmy Buffett. It's like Jimmy Buffett, probably fine, nice guy, singable songs, but the fans absolutely kill it.
You know how much I hate Jimmy Buffett? I'm at the grocery store.
More than I hate the Eagles?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, stop me if you would
On
do
par?
this.
Okay.
Yeah, on par. Because I'm at the grocery store and I see I think it was some type of shrimp, like frozen shrimp thing or whatever, and it looked like really good, like a, I don't know, coconut, lime or whatever. And I went to grab it. It was on sale, like $2 off. I'm like, we'll give it a try for a dinner. And I saw, at Margaritaville. And I said, F that. I'm not giving Jimmy Buffett money.
Right.
I put it back.
He's
And
getting a dime. Yeah.
I refused to buy it just because it was Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville.
I think that's right.
So if if the Eagles had their own brand of potato chips,
absolutely,
no way in hell you're giving them any money.
If there was a chain of hotels that were run by the Eagles,
hell no.
I'm not staying there.
As far as that list go of the one of the 12, what is
Undisputed best comedies.
I think there's a lack of John Candy on there. I think you have to put like Uncle Buck. I would put maybe Planes, Trains, and Automobiles on there, and in place of one of them, like those two are really good movies.
Yeah, I could
Stripes.
I could easily reach in here and swap a bunch of these. I could swap all 12 out probably.
But there's nothing that was too heinous.
But nothing here, and it's rare to find a list where you go, that one kind of works.
And I like that they stayed away from a recency bias. Like, no offense to The Hangover. I like The Hangover, but I don't like The Hangover is going to, I think, just exist in its own time frame.
Right.
And I think that making the two sequels really took away the thunder of the original Hangover, because you have such a bad taste in your mouth of the subsequent sequels that sometimes you don't care for the first one. You know,
that's interesting. And I would say there are probably a couple of movies on here that I think in its time, Caddyshack was kind of a hangover type movie where it had its audience and he was like, and then as time went, obviously it still works and it still lives and you can go back and watch it and enjoy it. And so maybe 20 years from now, Hangover will be like that. And
I would throw out Anchorman. The original Anchorman was pretty damn funny.
There's definitely another dozen you could put on here, but a workable list.
Yes, congratulations to them.
Which is not often you find that.
Congratulations to them. And finally, here on the two, we're going to call this one Too Hot because it's already not safe for work with the swear word thing. This story from Ask Reddit is, or this question I should say, what is the funniest interruption you've had during sex?
It's usually a pet.
Yes. So I will go first here real quick. Situation happening between me and she was my girlfriend at the time, now my wife. I had a couple of cats, and I don't know my toe was hanging out of the sheets or what was going on, but the cat kept trying to attack. It kept jumping up onto the bed. And that can lead to major issues when things are going on.
Yeah.
I don't want a personal injury, or I don't want someone being scratched or anything like that. I'm like, no. So as things are going on, I kick the cat up into the air because it was on the bed. So I fling it. And so in the silhouette of the beauty that is my wife, there you see the cat just fly up and over her shoulder. Then she does, obviously in the midst of things, she's not seeing it.
You were doing a great job.
Yeah.
She was in another world.
And so doesn't see anything, but it was so difficult for me not to laugh because of the absurdity of the visual of the cat, and the cat took that as get the hell out. So it didn't jump back on after that, after I punted it into the air. But that could have led to many different injuries and problems in that particular. So to me, that was the funniest interruption I've ever had.
Yeah, we had a cat that I think was kind of a pervert.
Oh.
Because it seemed to always, it would show up, and the headboard was sort of like a headboard with a shelf, could put books and things like that. And so it would stand on the headboard and just kind of like a gargoyle, just sit there and watch.
Oh, that is much worse.
And so you glance over, it's like, dude, come on. I wonder what pets think when that's going on.
Well, yeah, I think sometimes I've heard of like dogs attacking because they think someone, because of the screams and everything else, someone's being attacked.
Yeah.
So they jump into action.
And I think most parents probably have a story with the kid.
Never. I got to lock that door.
Yeah, never got caught, but there was at least a question. Like, I think somebody came in the room and, what you guys doing?
Nothing. Yeah.
Hugging.
Pets are so weird because I remember, trying to use the restroom when you have a cat. and I would sit down and have my private time because I'm definitely close the door.
Sure.
And the cat, for some reason, would always reach under the damn door. It's like, you didn't want any part of this room until I'm using it for purposes, and now all of a sudden you won't leave me alone. Like, get out of here, you weirdo.
Yeah. I lived somewhere where the bathroom door would close, but it wouldn't fully latch.
Oh, no.
And so the cat, it was so bizarre because the cat would walk by and just push the door open.
Oh, no.
It's like, hey, no closed doors in this house.
You're like, no, trust me. In this particular time, you want that door closed.
And so, yeah, it wasn't like it was trying to get in. It would just walk by, push the door open, and then keep walking. Like, hey.
What are you doing here?
No secrets.
Weirdos. Cats are weirdos.
Weird, yeah.
Yes, cats are weird. Appreciate everyone listening in. I hope you learned something from today's episode.
Yeah, this is a share-worthy episode.
It really is. So share it, like it, subscribe, and either search Too Good or Too Hot, whatever the hell they want to call it, and find it where you find your podcast.
And get some Nugenics, because she'll like it too.